Now, if I do my job over the next few minutes, as we talk about habits and mindset and focus, I'm hoping that becomes part of your secret sauce. I'm hoping the self-awareness and the leveling up of your habits, your mindset, and your focus is part of what's gonna separate you from everybody else. So right now, we're gonna dive into the 3 pillars that will allow you to increase your performance, increase your productivity, and increase your ability to execute. And as I just teed up, those are our habits, our mindset, and our focus. So let's take a look at habits. The things we do unconsciously and the things we do consistently. A few years ago, I read a study that says almost half of everything we do from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to bed is habitual. Think about that. Almost half of everything you do from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed is on autopilot. Every single one of us has grooved a series of repeatable, borderline predictable behaviors that we now derive comfort from. Now I have to ask you all a very important rhetorical question. I already told you that the mere fact that you are in this room and you're a part of this incredible summit means you are a high performer. That is my evaluation of you. You are a high performer. But here might be the most important question anyone asks you all weekend. Are you a high performer because of your habits? Or are you a high performer in spite of your habits? If you were to put pen to paper and write down the things you do every single day of your life, what percentage of those things are taking you closer to the person you're trying to become? And what percentage of those things are holding you back and dragging you down? If you literally write down the stuff y'all do every single day of your life, how many of those things are taking you closer to being the realtor that you're capable of, and how many of those things are sabotaging and anchoring you down? Now, with that said, I don't want anyone to be stifled by perfection. Life is not a perfect game. Basketball ain't a perfect game. Real estate ain't a perfect game. What I do want is for you to be motivated by progress. And full disclaimer, by the way, all of this stuff that I'm sharing with you, every single thing I share on stage and every single thing I share on page, I ain't coming from a place of mastery. I haven't figured all of this stuff out. I promise you the same stuff that you guys are challenged with and the same stuff y'all struggle with is the same stuff I'm challenged with and the same stuff I struggle with. But here's what I can say with a huge smile. I like the progress I'm making. I like the direction that I'm going. And that's what I want to make sure each and every one of you internalizes. Don't worry about where you are in this moment as far as where you fall on the spectrum of realtors. What I want you to make sure is that you're going in the right direction, that you are headed in the direction that you choose. That part is going to be absolutely imperative in making sure that you get the most out of every single thing that we're doing here. And we do that with our habits. So right now, and I hate to be that teacher, I'm going to give you guys a quick homework assignment. We don't have time to do it now, but this is something I want you to sit with over the next few days. And I promise you, those of you that have the honesty, the vulnerability, and the courage to do this self-audit that I'm about to explain, it is an absolute game changer for you. Here's how it works. Sometime over the next few days, take out a piece of paper and draw a vertical line down the middle. On the left side of the line, I want you to write an exhaustive list of the things that fill your bucket, the things that light you up, the things that give you energy, that give you confidence, that make you smile, that make you feel alive. These can be things for your physical, your mental, your emotional, or your spiritual well-being if that's appropriate to you. But I want you to come up with an exhaustive list. Maybe it's taking a yoga class or hopping on your Peloton bike. Maybe it's taking your dog for a long walk. Maybe it's meditation or prayer. Maybe it's reading a good book or listening to a podcast. Whatever it is, the things that fill you up and nourish your soul and make you feel alive, I want you to come up with an exhaustive list on the left side of the paper. Then on the right side of the paper, I want you to write down how you've been spending the bookends of your day, your morning and your evening routine. What do you typically do for the first 60 minutes after you wake up? And what do you typically do for the 60 minutes before you go to bed? And remember that study I just referenced a moment ago. Every single one of y'all has a morning and an evening routine, I promise you. My only question is, have you designed it with intention, or have you walked backwards into it? Is it a default? Because we need to be incredibly purposeful and intentional about protecting the bookends of our day. So I just want you to get some clarity and write down what you've been doing in the morning and what you've been doing in the evening. There is no wrong answer. But then to complete this self-audit, I want you to compare the two sets of notes, the two sides of the line. And I want you to ask yourself what I believe is the most fundamental question you can ask yourself when it comes to raising your individual performance and productivity and ability to execute. And that is, are you doing the things you know you need to do to fill your bucket? In other words, is the stuff on the left side of the paper showing up on the right side of the paper? The things that you know light you up and give you energy, are you doing those things consistently in the mornings and evenings? Some of you may be, some of you may not. It's not for me to judge. But no matter where you fall on that, if every single one of you does that with some honesty and some vulnerability, you will most likely start to uncover what's called a performance gap. And a performance gap is the gap between what we know and what we do. It's the gap between what we know we should be doing, left side of the paper, and what we actually do on a daily basis, right side of the paper. And my goal for you is to empower you, to inspire you, and to challenge you to start taking stuff from the left side and start sprinkling it on the right side. Care enough about yourself, care enough about your loved ones, care enough about those that you serve to prioritize your self-care so that you bookend your day with the things that make you feel alive so that you can show up and make a meaningful contribution to as many people as possible. If you are willing to do that self-audit and you are willing to actually make the requisite changes of sprinkling that stuff into your morning and evening routines, I promise you, you will see your energy go up. You will see your confidence go up. You will see your optimism go up. You will see your ability to execute go up. Your production will go up. Every single aspect of your life will start to improve when you prioritize self-care and make sure your bucket is full.